Are you ready for this? NBC News. Have you heard of NBC before? There's a new movement called the Ecocide movement. Look what it's saying. Ecocide movement pushes for a new international crime. You know what that crime is? Environmental destruction. Didn't the spirit of prophecy and great controversy talk about environmental destruction as a precursor for Sunday laws? It says a growing number of what kind of leaders? Advocate making ecocide a crime before the international, don't leave, Sister Burton, the International Criminal Court to serve as a, because she would need to see this. All right, to serve as a moral line, I was playing with her, a moral line for the planet. Okay, she's not conforming, right? But watch this right here. The reason why I wanted her to stay, because look who these leaders are. Look what it says right here. It says in 1948, after Nazi Germany exterminated millions of Jews and other minorities during World War II, the United Nations adopted a convention establishing a what kind of crime? New crime so heinous that it demanded collective action. Genocide, the nations declared, was condemned by the civilized world, and it justified the intervention in the affairs of sovereign states. And look at this right here. Now, a small but growing number of world leaders, including who? Pope Francis and the French General Emmanuel Macron, have begun citing an offense they say poses a similar threat to humanity and remains beyond the reach of international criminal code law, ecocide, or the widespread destruction of the environment. The Pope describes ecocide as the massive contamination of air, land, and what? Water, or any action capable of producing an ecological what? Then it says the pontiff has also endorsed a campaign by environmental activists and legal scholars to make ecocide the fifth crime before the international crime. Who endorsed it? And AKA the who? The Pope. Wow, did you see that right there? So it says here, as the legal deterrent to the kind of far-reaching environmental damage that are driving mass extinction, ecological collapse, and what else, somebody? Climate change. So the Pope is part of this movement. Do you see this right here, brothers and sisters? Yeah. Oh, no, I don't think you're convinced yet. Look at this one right here. Watch this right here. All right, listen to this. Ecocide movement wants to make any act that can harm the planet, what, somebody? Illegal. Do you see how this fits into the Sunday law crisis? Do you see now? So if the Sunday law is enforced and they're going to convince the world that keeping Sunday will save the planet, and we're keeping the Saturday Sabbath? And who's the prime promoter? The pontiff. Come out of her, my people, brothers and sisters. Come out of her, my people. Didn't the Bible say come out of her, my people? You see why we got to come out of her? You see how everything's being set up to bring about the mark of the beast? Oh, I don't think some of y'all are convinced. I mean, it says the same thing like all the other ones are saying. But listen to this right here, man. If successful, harmful acts will be categorized alongside crimes against what? War crimes and crimes of what, somebody? And would prevent harm to nature from going unchecked. So this right here is leading towards what we're talking about. It says the campaign argues that decades of widespread and systematic harm to nature caused by detrimental industrial activities is the reason why the planet is now facing an ecological emergency, and warns about destroying the natural world will also take away our chances of maintaining a planet that we can what, somebody? Then it says stop ecocide hopes that by making the acts a what? CEOs and financiers, buy or sell, will be held liable for criminal prosecution and in turn less likely to continue the harmful practices. The merchants of the world. The merchants of the earth, brothers and sisters. Look at this right here. This is a real movement. This movement here is endorsed by the Pope papacy himself. Do you understand this right here? So what happens is, this is kind of like the final piece of the puzzle that needs to be put in place. So when it becomes a crime to violate the Sunday Sabbath, all of us will be charged with the crime. You understand this right here? And not only are they talking about making it an international crime, but countries, individual countries will implement these laws themselves. Do you see this right here? Which means you can go to jail. Am I right, somebody? This means you can be killed. Am I right, somebody? She continued, establishing ecocide crime has the potential that playing field to rechannel, finance, and unleash innovation and rapid transition. And since what? Nobody can claim that rapid action is not possible. You hear this? Ecocide law is the necessary nudge. It says the campaign has received recognition from leaders in France, Belgium, and the what, somebody? The Vatican. There it is right there. In a bid to gain support to stop ecocide, Meta has said that spreading the word and expanding the conversation is key to encouraging governments across the what? To declare support for the what? What do you think about this article, y'all? It's over. That's right. All right, this is a good video. Watch this. Watch this.
We face a crisis unlike any other. To overcome it, we must unite.
So the fight continues to resolve the COVID-19 crisis. And even as those efforts continue, a group of world leaders are coming together to try to stop any future pandemic. More than 20 of them are calling for an international pandemic treaty.
This taught us one brutal lesson. No country, no continent can defeat a pandemic alone. It requires a...
He says no country of itself can defeat a pandemic alone. It requires, listen to this,
global approach.
A global approach. You see this? You see how Revelation is fulfilling right now?
The us rather than the me, and a collective commitment at the highest political level. The next pandemic is not a question of if, but when. So we must be ready, and we have no time to waste.
If you want to get back to your favorite...
Now, I'm going to share this with you now. Jamal told me about this. I have to admit, Jamal, I was in the car when I looked it up, so I didn't get a chance to really look at it. I didn't take it seriously, but when this came on, I want you to listen to this. Listen to what they now got in place now that the pandemic is almost over. Listen to this. Now, who's this woman right here?
Favorite places and feel confident they have put your health and safety first.
Look for the Well Health Safety Seal.
Look for the Well Health Safety Seal.
Look for the Well Health Safety Seal.
You'll see it at schools, offices, banks, childcare centers, all the places we go.
The Well Health Safety Seal means that we'll feel better going into restaurants,
Theaters, stores, hotels,
Stadiums, and all the places that we love.
So look for the Well Health Safety Seal outside.
and feel more confident going inside.
Let me ask you a question. If you don't have the Well Health Safety Seal, what does that imply? You can't buy or what? Sell! I'm sorry, I mean to shout. I'm sorry. It's the World Cup. You know what? Let's go to can we go to the website? Brother Jamal showed me this, and see, if you catch me driving and tell me to look at something, I may look at it, but I can't watch it. Yeah. All right, well, it's called the wellhealthsafety.com. Here it is. Here's the website. Bam, there it is. Well Health Safety Seal. Get back to the places you love. Look for the seal. You see that? The mark, right? Look for the seal. Joanne, how does that make you feel? Not good, right? You know what this could mean? Get back to the places you love. What happens if this thing becomes so popular that churches will have to put it on? Huh? They sealed the Jews. Have mercy. Get back. Let's go back to the screen, Greg. Get back to the places you love. Look for the seal. Uh-oh. There it is right here. Notice that word international. What's the word international imply? Well Health Safety Rated. COVID is affecting us everywhere. Am I right? You have to think about this for a minute, Brother Jamal. The clinic you work at, or whatever you have they talked about y'all getting this? You own it, but they may tell you in order for you to stay open, you're going to have to get this safety seal. I mean, think about it, because, I mean, we do need to be safe. Am I right, somebody? Oh, we really do. So, but what happens is the enemy is manipulating this. You see this right here? To where you have to have this safety seal in order for people to feel comfortable going into your business. That's going to affect your buying and what? Selling. It's coming, brothers and sisters. This thing is coming in so many directions. Look at this. Look what it says right here. Remember sharing. Look at this. It says, remember sharing the same spaces as your friends.
Wow. They're trying to bring you back.
They're trying to bring you back. So if you want to go back, you better have the Well Health Safety Seal. Look for the seal. Look at this. Behind the seal, the Well movement. See how it's making real change in the world. Self-guided trainings. And notice, it's all about this vaccine. Bring well into your company. All right? But look at this right here. Look at this on their website. Rome wasn't built in a day, and the well movement didn't happen overnight. Why would they put Rome in there? Why would they pick Rome and stuff like that? Learn more. It's connected. Let me see what it says here. Man, Rome wasn't built in one day. That's the deal with the seal. This is the seal. This is for everything, y'all. It showcases brands that are doing much more to put your health and safety front and center. Wow. Look at this right here. Man. At IWBI, we spent years working to advance human health and well-being through science. Today, restaurants, offices, schools, venues, hotels, stores around the world look to who? Us. To help them make the best choices to protect you and what? Yours. Churches are coming, Lex. Oh, it's coming. Look for the seal at your favorite places and let brands know that you care. Look at that. Look at that. What? Is this world coming to an end or not, brothers and sisters? It's all manipulating everything to bring this thing about. Look at that. Have you seen this already? No. I haven't. Like the seal of God, yeah. Yes. Wow. Man, this is very deep. Your support doesn't have to end there. Empower yourselves to make smarter choices in everything you do. The opposite of smarter is dumber, right? We got to come back and talk. I got to do some more investigation with this right here. So the Well Health Safety Seal. Let me get back to this video.
It's a rating. It's that Well Health and Safety rating that shows the aspects of a workplace environment in response to COVID that is both healthy and safe to returning tenants.
Our tenants are able to essentially leave their vehicle in the parking lot and get into their space without touching a surface. We want to make sure that our tenants feel safe coming back to the office. We feel confident in what we've done at this building and across the commercial buildings in Chicago.
Normal temperature, normal temperature.
Here, Paul, I'd like to probe a little bit deeper on central bank digital currencies, and in particular, the need for a secure digital ID for participants. One of the things the coronavirus laid bare is the lack of simply a list of citizens of the U.S. and in our ability to rapidly distribute funds, particularly to the underbanked. A high quality and universal digital ID in the U.S. would have made that immeasurably easier, as well as everything from, vaccine certificates or you name it.
But I think that there are many more people, millions of people, who, for whatever reason, have concerns about the vaccine, who just don't know what's in it for them. And we need to make it clear to them that the vaccine is the ticket back to pre-pandemic life. And the window to do that is really narrowing. I mean, you were mentioning, Chris, about how all these states are reopening. They're reopening at...
Man, you see that? You see that?
And we have a very narrow window to tie reopening policy to vaccination status.
The reason to go and get vaccinated is that we are now launching the Green Passport.
They're launching a green passport in Israel to where only those who are vaccinated can really get the services of society, which is creating a two-tier system to where you have second-class citizenship going on. This is a serious video, man. This is very serious.
Plan. Whoever has been vaccinated will be able to go and enjoy the theatre, the cinema, sports.
You hear that? You hear that? I mean, we're not even at the mark. We're not even at the Sunday law crisis, but yet a no-buy and no-sell system is in place right now. So when Revelation 13 says that no man might buy or sell, the implication I'm now seeing is that before the market's enforced, the no-buy and no-sell system would have to be in place. You understand this right here? So what we're seeing with social credit, what we're seeing with this right here is all precursors to the Sunday law. Do you understand this right here? And look what they're trying to push right now. The Green New what? Deal. Look at this. We need a Green New Deal to fight the climate crisis at the scale that scientists say is necessary. It's a plan that would transform our economy and society at the scale needed to stop the crisis. It is our fighting chance to actually stop this crisis, and for some of us, the first we've seen in our whole lives. It says in 2020, we will unite by the millions to defeat corrupt politicians and the fossil fuel billionaires who aid them, and we'll elect a president and a Congress who will make the Green New Deal law in 2021. The Green New Deal. And the Green New Deal empowers those labor unions. What is the Green New Deal? Make a long story short, the Green New Deal has the Sunday law written all over it, brothers and sisters. Let me go on.
Events, flights abroad, restaurants and more.
Back here in Europe, EU leaders have agreed to develop a COVID-19 vaccine passport that could ease border crossings and allow people more freedom to travel again.
The Biden administration working on a system for people to prove they've been vaccinated against coronavirus. The Vax Pass, or vaccine passport, could be used by people at work, in school, or traveling abroad.
The nation's first vaccine passport launched over the weekend. New York State is behind the initiative. The app-based digital certification is called...
See that? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. New York. Remember that song? I love New York. Remember that? I love New York State, but not New York City. Do you understand this? I love the country in New York. And if anybody's ever been to the countryside, and how many have driven through the countryside of New York? It is one of the most beautiful. The only thing about upstate New York is cold. It's too cold. Brothers and sisters, but in New York City, the Big Apple, which is really the world city, if you're talking about, New York has launched a vaccine passport app. Didn't Sister White say that those who will wish to leave the cities won't be able to? It's stuff like this. This COVID-19 crisis, man, has changed everything. You understand this right here? It was kind of like the crisis that was needed in order to implement the things they've been wanting to do for the longest time. Do you understand this right here?